Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, welcome to Be My Guest. Today we have a psychic friend with us. She's also an author. Diane Lewis is back with us, and she was with us about, let's say, 4 years ago. And that's when she and I met. And actually, she and I were in Starbucks meeting together, and I'd lost my car keys, or I thought I had. And Diane assured me, you're going to find them. You really are. And we did. They were behind the cash register. I don't know how they fell behind there. Meanwhile, I'd call my husband, hurry up, rescue me. By the time he got there, Diane had basically already solved the problem. She was calm. We know they're going to show up. Diane is not only a psychic, she's an author. And for those of you who remember, she's great at both. Her next book is From Psychic to Soul. And it's great for you girls who want to put it in your purse. It is adorable. It's very small. We'll see if Paul can get it photographed up here. We're going to have a copy of it downstairs, of course, in the Upton Library, so you can get to know that. This one, welcome Diane. This one, Discover the Psychic Within. Oh, I'm going to let you go ahead. Tell us about the book.
Well, From Psychic to Soul is a reveal about how we are all psychic. Everybody. Whether we know it or we don't know it. So over the years, people have always been asking me, or they've been making a comment, oh, I wish I was psychic like you. Yeah. Well, you are. So from all the requests, I put this book together so that you would get an understanding of how you are psychic. Everyone is psychic. And the different aspects that go with it. So I wrote it in very easy to read language.
Yes.
Real life examples. I used some of my own life examples as well, so that you can understand how it's all working together, how we're designed in our environment, in our energetic environment, how we're designed actually to be psychic.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring that out to everybody so that they would have a clear understanding. And then, if they want to divulge more, they could do so.
I love this. She said, it's kept very simple, it's very easy to read, and it's a quick read. But the thing is, you want to read it again and again, not just, go through one. Tell us about that first chapter, where it started.
Well, it at the beginning of time. I mean, this is who we are. We're psychic beings, and it didn't just happen. It's always been, and that's what people don't understand, is that we're all born psychic. These are abilities that we have, whether we use them or not. It becomes a choice. And sometimes we're using them and we don't tag it that way, because we'll use other words like the gut feeling or my inner voice or my intuition. We'll use all those words, never really understanding that what it is you're being psychic at that moment, so to speak. Yeah. But what psychic really is, if you want to break it right down, is psychic ability is nothing more than reading energy. That's what it is. Very basic.
Now, reading your energy as well as others, right?
As well as others, because our whole environment is energetic.
And you even reach out to the people who've passed away and their energy.
Exactly. So, energy doesn't, you can't kill energy. It doesn't die. It just changes shape or form.
What do you mean? Like, when it changes shape or form, it's hard for those of us to picture. I picture my parents, I loved them so much and the clothes. I'm thinking, what shape do they take? I smelled my father's tobacco in our kitchen one day. Mm-hmm. I know it was his or Grandpa's. We don't smoke. So they come in like that, right?
They do. They will come in, and it could be that, say you're having a bad day and they want to comfort you. Well, they can't comfort you physically because they're not in physical form anymore. But they can come through and comfort you in other ways to let you know that they're around. You could smell that tobacco.
Yeah.
That's just letting you know I'm here. A lot of people will smell that, or perfume, or cookies that grandma made, or
Well, there was no doubt in my mind. Oakham Riff or Captain Black. That's what Dad smoked in his pipe. He and Grandpa. There's no doubt about it. No one smokes in my home.
well, pipe tobacco is very distinct.
Yeah.
And so having that smell when there's no source
Yeah.
is his way of just letting you know I'm here.
I think I went, hi Dad. How you doing? I don't know, I was at the kitchen sink and I'm thinking, what are you doing with me here in the kitchen? But second, do you believe that they visit us in our dreams? Because I've dreamt a lot about my parents.
They'll visit us in dreams. Dreams are an easy way to come in. So there are two types of the psychic dream. The first type is where you get psychic information from the dream state. The second way is a visitation. And a visitation is when that dream is so vivid that you feel like you were actually there.
Yeah.
And you actually were.
And I can believe every detail. I can relate to you every dream's detail.
Right. And when that happens, you are actually in another dimension.
Yeah.
You are not in your physical form at that point. Your energy has left and has met up
Yeah.
with theirs.
Yeah.
And you're in this dimension, having an experience.
Yeah. So it's actually those of us most of my people I know, they can't remember their dreams. Or they'll say, I don't dream. I'm like, you gotta dream. That's part of our REM sleep, right? Isn't that it?
I'm not 100% sure on the whole dreaming aspect. I know what it pertains to in the psychic realm.
Yeah.
But, I think, I know that some of it is necessary for us to get a good night's rest.
Sure.
What the levels are, I can't tell
Can't
you.
tell.
No.
We're talking with Diane Lewis, and Diane is back with us, and she has her next book. Her next, because I'm sure there's something coming up.
Yes.
Oh,
there
yeah.
is.
From Psychic to Soul. Beautiful little book. And I'm going to read just a quick clip here from the back of the cover. And she's going to tell us how you can get a hold of her book, besides coming downstairs to the library. Do you know there's more to this physical universe than meets the eye? Psychic ability is not for a chosen few, but for those willing to expand and move beyond the confines of their world. It's not for the faint of heart, or for those unwilling to stretch their imaginations to see what's possible. I love that. Think outside the box. You don't have to buy it eventually if you don't buy into it, but give it a shot. It's for all of you who feel the calling deep in your being and struggle for understanding. So please allow me to take you on a journey where you'll be enlightened about the mysteries that surround not only your psychic ability, but also your soul. Diane, when did you start getting interested in this?
Well, I've always been.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people that ask me, well, when did you know?
Yeah.
Well, if you've always been, and you've always been aware, I can tell you when I was aware that other people were not. And that was when I was probably a young teenager. I didn't have that defining moment that you hear, but I knew as a young teenager, probably 12 to 14, that other people were not having the same experiences that I was.
Right.
And so that's when I felt like I was more closed about it. Now, I'm very fortunate because my parents both were aware as well.
Yeah, and they supported you.
And they supported me, so there was no problem.
How many other siblings do you have? Were you the only, or were there others?
There were others.
Were you the youngest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. What did they think about this? Did you share it with them, or no?
No, I didn't. I shared with my parents, very much so, and a couple of other siblings, but they're, I had a sibling I wasn't sharing with, only because I didn't feel that they would, really.
They would latch onto it.
Yeah.
Would you say it's almost like when somebody's beginning into this and isn't realized yet that they have an ability, a hunch, Some people call it hunch. You're saying
Mm.
sometimes it's an intuition.
Right.
I've had that an awful lot. I'll
Well,
feel something very much like don't go there or go there.
Right. But the whole aspect with that is you're picking up a vibration,
Yeah.
reading energy,
Mhm.
and but you always have the choice whether to. It's not as if you have to do it.
Sure.
You can choose not to do it or not to follow that.
Mhm.
And sometimes when you don't follow it, then you get the validation.
Yeah.
Okay, when I get this feeling, I now know what it means.
Yeah. Yeah. It can affect me in the stomach.
Mm.
I'm like, this is not good. I can't explain it any other way. Diane, how can they get your book?
Well, it's available through all major booksellers. It's available online.
Yep.
So it's probably at libraries as well. So you can. It's pretty readily available.
Just look up From Psychic to Soul.
Exactly.
And your website is?
My website is www.dianelewis, DIANELEWIS,
Yep.
.us.com.
Now, you married into a Lewis family.
Yes, I did.
I'll always wonder if your husband and I are connected.
Very possible.
Very Scottish. I've done the studying. The Lewis clan is part of the MacCabe clan. We came from, in Scotland. And very often clans would start off together, but then split.
Right.
And it's fascinating. A lot on Dad's side. Lewis, there is an Isle of Lewis in Scotland.
Oh, nice.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Just stick with me, kid. I'll tell you all about it. Diane, where have you been appearing? Tell us about that.
Well, I've been promoting the book. I've been doing a lot of promotion through Barnes & Noble, Technic Booksellers, Book Lovers Gourmet, some other small independents that will be coming up, and some more major booksellers as well. And what we've been doing to make it a really fun event is I've been having not only just the book signing, but we've been having a chat about psychic ability, and then I'll do a demonstration of mediumship, and for one audience member, bring through
Yeah.
a family or a loved one for
I
them.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Trouble is, when you go to those huge events, and you got the psychic, you're just waiting, because I figure, good gosh, my father was such a strong person. You got to be hearing from him. And he passed right over me. I had to raise my hand, like, did you hear anything? I just didn't like that. I was angry. I'm like, how could you miss? You know what I mean?
Well, depending on the size venue, you have a lot of people in spirit, just like, they'd be competing
Yeah.
to come through. And some will also step back and not even compete, because if they feel that they can communicate with you directly, why would they need a psychic medium?
That's true.
Yeah,
I suppose so.
that's been an experience that I have found that they will, if they feel that they're communicating,
Yeah.
they don't feel they need an intermediary, which
Okay.
is what a psychic medium is at that point.
I know one time years ago, he's been in that Wisdom magazine, or so, I don't know what it is. I called a fellow in Boston, I can't remember his name, and he was doing a reading for me. We were going through a family crisis, and I was like, oh my gosh, give me anything you got. And he said, Charles. I'm thinking, Charles? That was my grandfather's brother. He said, he mentions the word stepping forward. Who's stepping forward right now? Stepping forward. Then I've been to a couple of readers, like at fairs and things. 2 of them came up with the name, Who's Nellie? No one would know that was my great-grandmother.
Wow.
And I have her middle name, Jocelyn. And I thought, what are the odds? Somebody's going to get... That's pretty... Would you say that's pretty strong, that she's right there?
Well, she's giving the information.
Yeah.
She wants to be recognized, and so the psychic medium acts as the intermediary. So, we just get the information, and then we relay it.
Yeah.
And so we rely on those in spirit to give us this information.
Yeah.
I
I don't think there was any message from Nellie, but she just said, they just both of them, who's Nellie? They didn't know me from Adam.
Well, Nellie obviously wanted to be at least recognized or let you know
Yeah.
that she's around. just by that, that it may not go any further with the message, or then it can launch.
I love that. When you give a presentation, like let's say when you were at Tatnuck or at Book Lovers Gourmet or wherever, Barnes & Noble, do people actually get to ask you, or can you say I've heard from and who knows John, or I'm hearing? Do you do that too?
Well, when I do the presentation portion, I just open myself up for spirit.
Yeah.
And whoever comes through, I'll give them, I have this individual coming through, and, and then I give the information as they're giving it to me. Names are not always the first thing I'm getting. I may see the individual. They'll start giving me information that I always ask them, give me something I can't, I couldn't know. Something that's...
Especially a person may have suffered cancer, and somebody like that, or somebody who was a baseball coach for Little League, something that you're seeing or feeling.
Yeah, they'll use all my senses. So I have different signals within my body that if I feel, for instance, pain here, I know that someone suffered a heart attack.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they'll impose that on me.
Yeah.
Or if they've had cancer, I have a different feeling.
Maybe nausea.
Depending on where the cancer is.
Yeah, yeah. Or coughing. Or, breathing.
But different ailments, strokes and so forth, I'll have different symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like if you want to have a visualization, I have a blackboard on the other side.
Yeah.
And it has my symbols and so forth, and they will utilize those. Of course, every single reading is unique because of the fact that it's how they want to present.
Mm-hmm.
So just because I may feel with one individual, with another it could be totally different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not every family, obviously this is rare, but murder. Do you sense it if somebody was murdered, and how do they get through you?
I have had murdered individuals come through.
Yeah.
They, depending, they'll on what they're willing to share with me.
Yeah.
I've had victims, of accidents, people who may have been decapitated, or suicides, or
By the time you get home, you must be ready for, I don't know, a nap, a coffee. No, not coffee, or decaf. But this must take a lot out of you. It has to.
It is a lot of energy. When I'm bringing people through, I get more energized. It's like I would compare it to, if you're working out, how you get more energized. Of course, then once I go home and eat and relax, then I'm drained. It does take a lot of energy, bringing it. Especially, it depends on how many people I'm bringing through. If I'm doing a group, I could be bringing through anywhere from 8 to 14 people.
Yeah.
And, over the span of 2 or 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So that can be very draining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can picture this right away. We are talking with Diane Lewis, and she is the author of From Psychic to Soul. And this is an adorable book. Discover the Psychic Within. She'll walk you right through it. Let me see. Reading energy. So how do we read energy? Chakras. Now, tell us. Chakras I know about, but people who don't know about it, what are those?
Chakras are energy centers within inside our bodies.
Yeah.
If they have studied yoga or anything, you'll see the different colors. Yeah. And as you mentioned, where you get your psychic information through the stomach, which is the solar plexus, which also happens to be a chakra center.
Yeah.
And so the solar plexus actually is a very easy way to get psychic information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much information. I have to really turn it off, because I can end up really feeling drained.
Well, if you're in an energetic environment and you stay open all the time, you're just going to get bombarded.
Yeah.
So shutting it down, because even I shut down.
Yeah.
I don't, especially with those on the other side, I don't allow them in all the time, or else I'd be just inundated.
What's a meridian?
Meridians are like nerves that run throughout our body. Only meridians are energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not visible. Like chakras, they're not visible. But they do run throughout our whole body.
Yeah.
And acupuncture utilizes meridians to with energy flow.
What do you think of acupuncture?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've had acupuncture myself.
I don't know. I like a good massage. That's
Massage is great, but if you're having issues,
Yeah.
Acupuncture can be to unblock
Yeah.
energy that might be stuck.
They tried that with me with headaches, and you know what? I just tensed up so much it didn't work. I didn't like the feeling at all.
Right.
Whereas if I'd been given a massage, I would have been going out feeling great. I just.
Well, I think it depends. It's again a preference.
Yeah.
I love massage as well.
They're so expensive, Diane. Whoa.
But they work really nice.
I know. Looks are deceiving. What's that about?
That's about our physical appearance
Yeah.
versus what you feel. To just take it right to a very dramatic aspect. A murderer doesn't look like a murderer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They can look-
Sociopaths hide it very well.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can look totally normal, and yet you may get a vibration off of them.
Oh, yeah.
There's something wrong with that person. Okay? That's what I'm talking about where looks are deceiving. That is on an extreme scale. On a not so extreme scale, you can be with someone and they look fine, but you're sensing they don't seem right to me.
They're not coming across right.
Right. And you may say, well, I feel like there's something wrong with them. Not maybe something physical you might be picking up, but their energy is off.
What is the word? It feels, well, for better of a word, not deep. It feels phony. What's the word?
Superficial.
Superficial.
Yes.
Boy, I pick up on that one. I don't know why, but boy, can I pick up on that.
Well, that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that.
Because
Yeah.
people will put up facades.
Yeah.
And so they'll put that up, and that's where the looks are deceiving.
Yeah.
Because if you just look at the shell,
Yeah.
you're going to, and you made an assumption, you're going to assume one thing,
Yeah.
when it could be totally different.
Yeah. That's
You know?
tricky business.
Yes.
Yeah, you can end up trusting someone that you shouldn't have gone near in the first place.
Right, but you could have also got a warning.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times people will ignore it.
Yeah.
They'll ignore that feeling.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, well, they don't look like that.
They look so nice, or they're treating me so well.
Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And they seem to be getting along, but they're just superficial.
Exactly.
All right, so looks are deceiving. That's enough. We're looking at the great chapters in this. I want to be more psychic.
Well, that came up because people want to be more psychic, or they've told me they want to be more psychic, even though they really are. So, in that, I explained to them, well, this is how you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if you've shut yourself down from it, it's a matter of practicing to open it up.
Right.
And it's how willing you are. Take it in baby steps.
Yeah.
I find that, I do it professionally, but there's great, if you do it just for betterment of yourself, you could not only in personal life, but in professional life, it can be helpful.
Yeah. Like if you work in HR and maybe you're going to you have to hire someone, kind of maybe if like you do to tap right into it a little bit more. Am I wrong? Would you be able to maybe kind of get your hunches, your intuition going that I think this person might not so good, but I had a good feeling about this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it would also put you in place with, in a work environment, how other people are feeling.
Yeah.
You may be tapping into that, so you may understand, maybe not get so offended by an individual because you may sense that they're not feeling well, and if they're a little barky or something at you, you may realize it's not you per se. It's
Mhm.
because they're feeling a
Because
certain
they're-
way.
it's their baggage, not yours.
Exactly.
We've got just a few minutes left. We're talking with Diane Lewis, psychic and author of From Psychic to Soul. You can pick up a copy right down here. Come on down to the Upton Library. You're out of town, out of state. Come on over. You can always borrow a copy, but tell us again how they can buy a copy of it.
If you'd like to purchase a copy, it's available at all major booksellers. It's available online, and all you have to do, if the bookseller doesn't have it, all you have to do is ask them, and I'm sure they'll get a copy in for you. And it's available at the public library, so you could also reserve a copy to read.
Where are you going to be appearing next, Diane?
I have some dates that are coming up
Yeah.
that will be at some Barnes and Nobles and some other small independent booksellers. We're finalizing deals right now as to times and.
How about that
and
July
dates.
Danversport one? Have you been up there yet?
No.
Oh, but you would be, I think, the only author in this genre. I've been up there. It is a ballroom. It is beautiful. I talk about this all the time. If you and your husband want to go up for a nice day, it starts at 4. Guests, people can come in, set up, have a friend with you. Walk around with your book. Have your business card with you. Oh boy, yeah, I think you would enjoy it. It's over the yacht club. There's a balcony. It is a beautiful room, and I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. It's every July, the New England Authors Expo.
Oh.
Danversport, right up in Danversport. Beautiful, and I've been there quite a few times. A lot of my authors. Sometimes afterwards, there's a tsunami in here because once they know when I visit that I'm there, oh, here's my card, here's my book, that type of thing. I think you would absolutely love it, and it would give a whole new, look at things. There's a lot of fantasy there. There's a lot of there's mystery and things like that. But I haven't seen one true psychic book offered in any of the expos I go to.
Oh, well, we'll have to chat later and get some information there,
Oh
sharing.
yeah, I can send. What I'm going to do is make a note, and I'm going to email you more about Danversport.
Oh, that'd be fabulous.
I'd like to see you
yeah.
I'd like to see you get up there, because we need someone like you for people who are coming there with other interests, and maybe they'd like to see this and talk to you.
I'll also be at the Ozark Mountain Transformational
Where's that?
Conference. That's going to be in Arkansas.
You're going to Arkansas?
Yes, I'm going to Arkansas, and
Okay.
it'll be in August.
Okay.
They've asked me to come and be one of their speakers.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, so
Are you excited?
I'm very excited about that.
Are they paying your airfare? Are you driving?
Oh, I'm flying.
You're going to fly?
Yes.
Oh. All right. Well, just use your psychic ability to make sure it's a safe plane.
Yes.
Please be careful. We're going to have you back on. Now, before we close, there is another one coming up. When will that be due? Another book? When you?
Well, that one is still in the works. It hasn't been finalized yet, so I'm not giving out any details yet.
Okay.
But
You'll let us know.
I certainly will.
You will.
I will.
Can you at least let us know another cute little book, or will it be a little bigger, or what will it be?
Well, I'll leave that to the publisher.
Okay. All right. But it's coming. You think this year?
I'm hoping to have it finished very shortly.
You're going to let me know.
I will. I definitely
So
will.
good to have Diane Lewis back. I remember, we were thinking 4 years ago, and we were situated somewhere else until we finally got our own studio, and we were reminiscing back then. And we were also talking about some of the psychics you see on TV are so dramatic. It's more like a dog and pony show, but Diane is the real deal. She's calm. She's not going to push you on anything. She just listens, and she'll talk to you. That's it. There's no hoopla. She's the real deal. I remember she helped me find my keys. Just, Jan, they're here. And they were. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you so much, Jan. It was great to be here
It
with
always
you
is good
again.
to see you. We'll see you next time on Be My Guest.